but you have to choose one. It is known as Ishta Devata. And practice one thing. If you practice 100 techniques, like you can't be a doctor, an engineer, a sportsman, you'll be a jack of all trades, but you'll not be a master of one. So every technique is different. There cannot be a general. What we did was just preparing for meditation. We didn't do any particular technique. After that, you have to find out which technique suits you and go to the person or system which helps you. Some people may get help from some points, as you said, touching some points. There are hundreds and thousands of techniques available. But you have to see that it is making you less and less restless, more and more peaceful. That is all. Okay?
So for restlessness and stress, what you have mentioned, meditation, because from the time of Buddha or the Ramakrishna, there are a lot of other things comes. So if we say to the person that along with meditation, you can do some self-technique, like, auricular acupuncture, there are different points in the body.
No, that's what I'm saying. That you have to go, yes, I got it.
Yes. So
but you have to go to the expert,
it doesn't require an expert. You can read in Google, you can read that in the Google. It's a bigger platform like this, where one can preach and teach so that the people will know how to do the self-improvement or self-engagement.
No, it is dangerous to get it from books because we that is why in our spiritual tradition we have a parampara. It should be time tested. Any person can write a book, but who will accept it? I will accept it if any book like Krishna's Bhagavad Gita. It has been time tested. For centuries, thousands and thousands of people have followed. Now, if I take a book on acupuncture or acupressure or any book, I want to make sure, at least I want to make sure that it has been practiced by millions of people for centuries. Then I'll accept it. I don't want to make my body or my future and give it in the hands of one book which may not be time tested. So, unfortunately, these techniques don't work. If it has worked for, let history show that this technique is working for centuries, then we'll accept it. I don't say anything is wrong.
In India and China, this acupuncture and other things which are there that relieve the
but
of the people, because it is time tested and that's why it is coming to the Western world.
Yeah, that may work for some people, fine.
If you follow the principle Jatama Katoko, or if you follow there are 6 and 90 ways of composing the tribal lake, and every blessed one of them right. So that's why there are different things.
So you have tried those, it works for you?
Yes.
Very good.
I practice that.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you.
If it works for you, then you should do it. Fine.
Thank you, Swamiji. As you said, para in medical science, all benefits.
Yeah, but you have to go to the
trials. So there's another question here.
Thank you, Swamiji, for the introduction to the meditation. That's really very helpful. How does one guide oneself into further levels of meditation and leading to the reach?
Yeah, one technique or not technique, one test is, it is always good to follow a very authentic tradition. As he said, if the acupressure or acupuncture or any technique, mindfulness, vipassana, there are 1 million techniques, especially when it comes to meditation. There are hundreds of meditation techniques. We cannot say which works, which does not work, but if it has worked for a large number of people, I would personally follow that. Only that much advice I can give you. I won't say you do this or you do that. We should not say that because we do not know which. Somebody will say homeopathic works for me. I can't tell him you take only allopathy. I can't tell him, because if it works for somebody, then he should take that. He has faith in that. That is why we have the idea of Ishta Devata. So if Krishna works for you, I can't tell you, no, no, Krishna is not good. You meditate on Shiva. Hinduism never did that. As he said, Jotomat Totopat, that is exactly what Thakur said. But having chosen one, you have to stick to one. Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna gave one beautiful example. He said one person was digging a well, searching for water. So he dug about 10 feet and a passerby came. Somebody came and said, no, no, this is the wrong spot. Here you will not get water. You go there, there is chance that you will get water. The poor fellow believed, like most of us believe. So he went there and dug another 10 feet. Then another person came. Oh, no, no, you won't get a letter water here. See, 10 feet you have dug, no water is there. You go to another third spot. So after 4 spots, a wise man came. In our tradition, we call him a guru. So he came and he said, I'm not saying whether you will get water here or there or there or there. 4 places you have done 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet, 10 feet. Now I tell you only one thing. If you were wise, you would not have listened to the first person. If you had stuck to the first place, all the effort you have done to dig 10 feet in 4 places, if you had dug, you would have gone 40 feet. And no matter what the land, you would have got water. So that parable, that story of Thakur says, you have to stick to one. It doesn't matter whether you dig here or dig there. But if you are sincere, whether you follow Buddhism, whether you follow Christianity, each joto mat, whatever be the faith, but you have to follow the path. Mat niye to thaka jai na. You can't just live with mat. Then you will say this mat, somebody will say, no, this mat is better. No, no, this is better. Whichever you choose, you have to stick to it. His only condition was, you have to have that yearning that your path will succeed. And if you are sincere, it will succeed. So you can't decide. When you have to decide, take your time, decide which is more authentic, which is less authentic. If you are lucky, you will get an authentic path. But the best guide is see the tradition. Who are all the people who have followed it? Now, nobody will question Bhagavad Gita because not one. For hundreds of years, so many people have written a commentary. If it is a useless book, nobody would have written so many commentaries. It has helped political people, it has helped spiritual people, it has helped historians, it has helped people from all sorts of. Everybody says, oh, I got inspiration from Bhagavad Gita. So we can safely say that it is one of the books, not the only book. We never say like Bible is the only book or this is the only book, Gita is the only book. That would be wrong. Somebody may benefit from Chandi by praying to the Divine Mother. Somebody may just pray to God without any prayer, just go and pray for him, but he is doing it again and again, and the main secret is repetition. If you keep changing, then chances of succeeding are less. So you have to decide. You have to decide which is authentic. You have to choose wisely. You can compare, you can see which tradition is the oldest, the longest, or a lot of people have benefited from that, and take a decision wisely and stick to it.
Any other questions?
Another reason why there are so many techniques, because there are so many different minds. See, 2 minds are not the same. If some people are emotional, for them bhakti may be good. They may sing, they may enjoy, they will get concentration easier through singing. Some are very dry people, they want to read. Then they will find Jnana Yoga easy. Some people like to meditate, they don't want to talk with anyone. They are like solitude, they want to stay to themselves. They don't have hankering for social company. For them, meditation may be very good. So depends on what your mental constitution is. So you have to select a path that suits your mental constitution. It may not be the same as anybody else. Yes.
Nonetheless,
Mm.
this would not be a simple question. At this point in time, you can see the people that we have gathered here. We're all after a certain age group. The main thing that we're lacking here is children. And at the moment, what we can see, most of the people that we are concerned, express our concern is how can we get the idea of spirituality in our younger generation?
Yeah.
Now we all know that in English culture society, they have introduced religious education, which is part and parcel of education. In India, I'm not sure whether that is very elaborately introduced or not. But if you want to carry the idea of Thakur, Ma, and Johnson in our next generation, rather than thinking this question at the level of when we become parent or grandparent or great grandparent, how can we introduce this culture in our younger generation? Is there any advice or suggestion we will try?
See, the thing is, spreading of ideas is one thing that even YouTube can do, internet can do, books can do. That is one part of ideas. So, good ideas, whether they are in books or whether people will sooner or later they will find out and they will follow it. That is one way. But the more important way, in according to Swami Vivekananda, is people will learn only through examples. For example, if you give a boy or a young man a book on football and he never sees a football match, you tell him just read this book and become a football player. He will never become. He may know everything about football. Like there are people who know everything about spirituality, but they have never practiced spirituality. So there is a huge difference. So what happens is most of these ideas, they don't impress younger people, especially youth. They children may simply listen and they may accept what their father or grandfather, grandparents say. They may accept it, but when they grow up, they will start questioning. So that is why all our Upanishads, the sacred books, they always had these question answers. So the children should be given freedom to ask questions. Why is it useful? The second question he will ask, if you say no, it is useful, then he will ask, he or she, if the child is wise. And they are wise. Most of the children are very wise. They become foolish after some years because we misguide them. So they are very wise because they are very honest. They are pure. You see, pure children are always pure. They will not, they will, what they see, they will accept. But slowly, the teachers, the parents, they will teach us to be artificial. If you are unhappy, they'll say, smile. You should smile because you should show the world that you are happy. So, poor children, they were very honest. If they were sad, they would say, I am sad. If they're happy, they will say. So, that purity is lost because we train them artificially. Oh, this is good manners. Do this, do that. Don't do this, do that. So, unfortunately, what happens is they will accept if they see it is working for elder people. As I told you again and again, they are very sharp. If they say meditation will give peace of mind, children are so sharp, they will say, my father is meditating every day, but he is getting angry every day. I have got such questions from 8-year-old children. We tried a children's session. And they were not afraid because they are very honest, very pure. I said, by meditation, your father, I said, father, I told him, but he says it is not helping him. And directly he was honest. Of course, the father was embarrassed, but The child did not hesitate because he was too young. They said it is it's not helping, Swami, it may not help me. It's true. He says, my father who has taken Diksha for 30 years, or he says he has seen this Maharaj, or this technique, that technique. His simple question is, has it helped you? For example, if you prescribe some medicine, then you can say, I have given it to 50 patients. All have been cured. Then you will take, isn't it? Even such a simple thing like medicine, we take only if we have proof. So children training is very difficult. We have to show the benefits to them. Only then they will accept. Otherwise, it is better they don't accept, because if they accept and they get a wrong idea of spirituality, it is still worse. They think, oh, if we just go to the temple, it is fine, then we can do whatever we like our ancestors, like our grandparents, fathers. So we have to practice. The only way is if we practice and we practice what we tell them, then you don't have to tell it. They automatically accept it. So that it is a very difficult thing, because first we have to practice. A teacher can teach only if he gets proper qualifications. Even in a school, you are not allowed to teach if you don't have qualifications. Anybody may say, I have knowledge, I'll go and teach. You are not allowed. So also, spirituality is still more important, that we show some results in our life. If we practice hard, we don't have to tell them difficult things. He said, see, I am meditating. Have you not seen that I am so patient? So that is because I meditate. You also meditate. You will not get angry. Then they will accept. Everybody will accept. That is the most difficult part, that we have to show by example, at least in spirituality. Mathematics, it's physics, chemistry, it's okay. It's a secular subject. It has nothing to do with your life. You can simply say, I am teaching you mathematics, don't bother about my personal life. But spirituality, you can't say. I can be angry, but you don't be angry. They'll say, no, it is not possible. So in spirituality, you have to teach by example. Mathematics, you may say, I may have a very bad personal life, but I am teaching you mathematics correctly. It works in mathematics because the character of the teacher is not important. If he knows his mathematics well, he can teach. Yeah. Yes.
It's us who are going to.
Us means everyone. Yeah.
It's our responsibility to teach that.
Yeah, and after practicing, we can quote our own example. Then they will feel our parents are, not only parents, any person is honest. He's really showing it and he has got benefit. Like you take some tonic, whatever medicine, and you reduce your weight. Then you can say, see, I took it and I am doing this, so I have reduced my weight. Then the people will believe, isn't it? If it doesn't show any results, then why will they say, no, you will benefit, I have not benefited, but you will benefit. Then nobody will believe that doctor. It's like that.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
No. Can I ask a question?
Yes, yes.
For self-realization, it is important that there should be three processes.
Three?
Processes.
Hmm.
Savana, Manana, Yes. If one hasn't got enough time to sit in meditation, can Nididhyasana be achieved to work?
Nididhyasana is actually, it's not a question of work. Even sitting and doing Nididhyasana is a type of work. So it depends on what type of work you are doing. So if you do Shravana, I'm talking only of the path of knowledge. In path of knowledge, what they say, you listen to certain truths, then you do Manana and find out its relevance in your life. So if it has no relevance in your life because of your profession, then there is no question of Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is only, that's why I told you, this Shravana Manana Nididhyasana was normally taught only in the monasteries. Path of Jnana. Shankaracharya, why was he insisting on at least leaving all your work and sitting in a quiet place? Now, if that is not practical or possible for everyone, then there are other methods. There is bhakti, there is practice of the presence of God, there is offering all your karma to God. There are other techniques. So, if you insist on Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, then you have to follow that paradigm. If you are an engineer, you will have to work in a engineering industry. You can't work in a hospital. So it is something like that. A Jnani takes, takes it for granted that a person who is comparatively free and who has no distraction, who can afford to spend time in contemplation, he will do Shravana, he will do Manana. That he can do with other jobs. He has to. But at one time he has to decide his priority. If he wants Nidhi Dhyasana, he has to sit quietly. Whereas in Bhakti, there is no Nidhi Dhyasana. You can do Nam Japa when you are working. You can do while you are walking. Whereas here, Nidhi Dhyasana, of course, you can do in a woods or in some quiet place where there is nobody to distract you. So there is this nirjanvas or solitude, which is important part of some sadhanas. In Raj Yoga also, that problem may arise. When you do sit for dhyana, you have to do dharana, you have to do pratyahara, means taking the mind away from the objects. It is possible only if there are no objects. It is easier. I'm not saying there may be objects, but if there are you're surrounded by people who are very busy, and then you can't withdraw the mind. Becomes more difficult. That is why it's not impossible, but it is difficult. So Nidhi Dhyasana is meant for a certain category of people. Shravana Manana Nidhi Dhyasana. But there are other sadhanas, which Karma Yoga is one of them, doing detached work. That also leads to the same goal. Yeah, it leads to the same goal, but not the goal of Jnana Yoga. Its goal is different. They become free from the bondages of body in a different way. Yeah, but I am not discouraging that children should be exposed to thoughts, because even if they don't see living examples, there is a chance that they, after reading, if there are good samskaras, they may take directly. They will not bother about others. So there is definitely a value of, as you were asking, it is our duty to give them the books. Say that I don't practice it, but see, here is the gospel. Thakur practiced it, others are practicing it. I am not practicing it. If you are honest, they will try to understand if they want. So there's no harm in asking them to read or even telling them. But you have to be honest. You have to tell, see, I am trying to practice, I am not able to practice, but I hope one day you will practice. That way they will understand, oh, this my father is very honest. Like Thakur said, when Jilebi were there, he did not tell. He told him to come again. Then he removed the Jilebis. He said, now if I tell, it will have impact. Otherwise, he will misunderstand. So you can, one way is we can say that we started it very late. You start early, maybe you will get help. If we had started at your age, we would have made progress. If you are honest, it is fine. Because that is what they expect. They don't see, the moment you start forcing, there will be reaction. You have to tell, see, I am telling you because we did not know when we were young. We don't want you to suffer. So you do it now if you think it is necessary. That way you can approach. That is a very logical way of approach. And very often they understand.
is talking about the children, or
Hmm.
is true thing when only one is ready to go to that state about spiritual learning, it just time in your life it comes, and that pushes you towards that path.
Both.
Is that true for the children as well?
Both. See, before time, I mean, before the right time comes, why children, even adults, when it is meant to be, it will happen. Even at old age, it can change. It can change a person. I'm not saying you have to do it when you are young. Sometimes people make progress. I've seen people who come for initiation from totally different cultures. And the way they are making progress, it makes you feel whether they are really novices. They might have done a lot of sadhana in the past. That is why whatever comes to them, they immediately get attracted and they pursue it very seriously. So age is not a problem. Age should not be a problem because it can come anytime. We can't say that unless you do it from childhood, you will not make spiritual progress. Tulsidas. Tulsidas is a classic example. Valmiki. They were robbers. Valmiki was a robber. He was to cut people's throats. He used to kill for. How did the change came in? Without any effort, not without any effort. One incident changed his whole life. You know, those two incidents, they are worth remembering because you should never say only children will change. Any person at any stage of life, if the right time has come, if he has lot of good samskaras, we never know. Anyone sitting here may have, they may realize God within 10 years or 5 years or even 2 years because they might have done a lot of spiritual practices. So we should not come to the conclusion that we have to give these truths only to children so that they practice for a long time. It is good if they learn as children, but you see, Valmiki's life, till he got convinced by one very serious incident in his life, he was leading the life of a robber. How did he become Valmiki? Within a few years, he wrote Ramayana and became a great saint. So, where was the saint? It was within him, but he needed one change in life, somebody to tell him what he was doing is wrong. All Narada told him that you are robbing and you are saying that you are doing this for your family. One simple question Narada asked, go and ask your family, will they take the share of your papa also? You have earned money, they are happy, you have done your duty, but how you earned that money, they will obviously, will they take the share of all the evil actions you have done? You have done it and they are taking your money, so will they share? So he goes and asks, his parents said, no, how you earn money is your problem. Your duty is to serve us. Why should we take share of your evil actions? Then the same thing his wife told him. Then his two children told him, we are not going to take the responsibility. That shocked him. He said, I am doing for these people and they are saying, you will get all the sins and we will take all the money. So that was a shock. Then why am I doing all these things? So, see, one incident changed and he just left everything and he became the great Valmiki. That is one incident. Tulsidas. Tulsidas also is equally important. Tulsidas was a very attached person, very, you may say, sansari person. Very much. More than his wife. Wife was better than him. He could not tolerate to leave his wife. She cannot even go to her in-laws' house. He said, no, 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 you don't go. She was so much attached to his wife. Then she one day goes, telling him, no, I want to go to my parents. And this fellow follows. He was so much attached. There's no question of devotion, Rama, nothing was there in his life. But he goes, he jumps, he takes a big risk in a flooded river. The boatman says, I can't take you, you go tomorrow. He says, no, I have to go today itself. So he swims on a dead body, thinking it is a wooden log. He's so dirty, then he somehow manages, lot of mud, whole face is black. He crosses the river, goes to the father-in-law's house, and she was staying on the top. To make it more dramatic, they say there was a rope hanging, he tries to climb, the door was locked, and in fact, it was a snake. So he took so much risk just because of his foolishness and attachment to his wife. But after he reaches, the same wife got so angry with him. She told him, if you had this attachment for Rama, what you have for me, you would realize Rama easily. So that changed. Immediately he left the home. He left his family, left everything, and became Tulsidas. So you see, it's not necessary. He didn't start in childhood, even after leading such a worldly life. So we should not come to the conclusion that we can change if our samskaras are good. Anytime we can change. These are few, not everyone has this change like Valmiki and Tulsidas, but it is possible. Yeah.
No other questions?
Yeah, till 4, we have 3 minutes. So I think only one question maybe. Yes.
One question. Thank you again. My question is that, do we consider ourselves privileged in some way, even to practice spirituality? Because as you
Yes.
see, wherever in the world, you know where I'm coming from.
Yes,
Doing
yes.
something, people are not born in the right situation,
Hmm.
not even having food or education, which we are privileged to have.
Definitely.
So,
If
what
it's,
is that?
yeah, whether we are happy or sad or full of misery, in any way, if we come to spirituality, we should be privileged because Shankaracharya says, I'll conclude with this. He says, there are 3 rare things in life. One is the desire for mukti, then holy company, satsangatvam, that is holy company, and the desire for huh? Manushya body, yes. So, to get a human body is very rare. That is a rare thing. After getting the human body, to have a desire for freedom is still rare. And after having that desire, just desire is not enough. I may feel I want mukti, but to get sadhu sangha, that is to get holy company. If you have these 3, it is a privilege. Whichever way, by chance, like Valmiki also had, Narada just happened to pass, and he was in fact trying to rob Narada. Valmiki was about to rob Narada. Narada said, okay, you rob me, but you answer my questions. First is ask why. Why are you robbing? I said, na, you have to begin your life with a why. So if Narada, what Narada told this Valmiki was ask why you are robbing. Go and ask your parents and your wife and children. Then he did not get the proper answer why he is robbing. So then he changed his life. So it is a privilege, definitely, even to ask questions. We may not practice anything, but the fact that of so many people, only few of you came, that mumukshutva at least is there. You know, you like this topic, freedom through karma yoga. Though you perhaps you didn't have a clear idea, but still we all came here to discuss, isn't it? So it is a privilege. Definitely, it is a privilege.